Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Natural Wellness Tips Podcast. This is your host, Dr. Jennifer Shaw. I am excited to introduce you to my guest today. My guest is coming in from Utah and is the incredible Cy Tidwell, one of the founders of the iTovi device that those of you that use doTERRA may have heard of, may have tried, may have never even experienced before, but we're going to create some clarity around this incredible device and why I use it for myself in my home and in my business as well. So Cy has amazing experience in business, and he was a VP for a large company that was based in California, really focused on sales. And he decided to begin this incredible company about 5.5 years ago. When they first started, I bought an iTovi and I loved it, and I've been using it ever since. And it has just been a newer relationship where I've been working a little closer with Cy and helping get the iTovi in the hands of so many incredible doTERRA customers and business builders, right? And this, for those of you guys that listen that use other oil companies, don't worry, it works for other oil companies as well. You just know I'm partial to doTERRA. So let's dive in. Welcome to the podcast, Cy.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Dr. Shaw. I really appreciate this. This is super fun for me, and I'm excited to talk to everybody and shed some insight into iTovi and what it can do for you. So
I'm excited. So let's start with this. Let's go into this background of like, why would you leave this big job at this big Fortune 500 company and start your own business? What
that's
like?
I've had that question, believe it or not, quite often, because not only from random people that I don't really know, but my friends and family that are really close to me. In fact, my father-in-law thought I was absolutely crazy because the company that I had was very very cushion, great salary, great income. And, at that time I was, after you do a job for so long, it's hard to leave it because you're really good at it. And so why try something else? Well, what I found was that I, throughout my life, have been a huge risk taker, and I've failed and I've made mistakes and I've started companies, and, some of them have been awesome. Some of them have been pure crap. And what I loved about what I saw into what could be with iTovi is that I would be changing lives in a different way than what I was doing currently. And that catapulted my decision into starting this company, seriously. And I loved it. In fact, my favorite thing about not even the first 16 days we launched, because what we did in the first 16 days we launched was more than we did, more than we thought we would do in the first 2 years of business. It's absolutely crazy. But better than that experience, and still today, my favorite thing about what I do is seeing the testimonials come in. It's for sure. Just watching people tell us why they love iTovi and how it's impacted their lives, whether it's, business or health related. So that's kind of what pushed me to start iTovi with Kurt Smith. And we took a huge risk. I stopped my income and everything before and used my own money. We bootstrapped some of it. We've been very diligent and creative in starting iTovi, where there's zero debt. We're very healthy. And so at the time, we found ourselves wanting to solve pain points. And so what we would do is interview a ton of customers and say, where are you finding some of your pain points in your business, but also in your health? And what we found is that a lot of the companies, have 200 plus products, 300 products, and it's hard to understand or decide or which products do I take and where do I go? And sometimes along the journey, it's do I keep taking the same products? And so what we found with iTovi is, let's funnel these. How many products should we display in our app? Was one of the questions. What do we show people? Well, let's funnel them so that they have a very simple way to digest the products. And if they just start, another pain point is not only which products do I start taking, but I just started and I'm super overwhelmed. Right. And so the pain point was, well, how do we help them battle that and combat the complexities around Google and the sponsor giving them information, the company providing product information? It's all this overwhelming fire hose type experience. And so if you just start with iTovi, even if you just signed up with doTERRA, for example, yesterday, all you have to do is ask people if they want to receive a free scan, and I'll talk about the science in a minute. And if they say yes, you're simply introducing them to them 5 products or 7 products, right? And so that's what I love, Dr. Shah, is that we're able to solve pain points at the beginning, and we can get into that. And throughout the last 5.5 years, it's not the testimonials, but it's the product value also that just brings fulfillment, I think, to me.
Yeah.
Great question.
I love that. I love that it's focused on the impact that you can make. And that's the experience I've had with iTovi. And one of the things that I absolutely love is, so that's one of the things I've really loved about the product, is that I can take it and I can pick what oils are highlighted. So I don't want to overwhelm a brand new customer. Well, I've had categories in my app of which products are in which collections, maybe a couple other of my favorites that I think should be in every home, but I don't have to open up the doorway to 200 products and all the supplements and get it to this really overwhelming point, because when I do that, it overwhelms me and the customer, and I can pick, do they see 3 oils, 5 oils, 7 oils, 10 oils? It is so user friendly so that you can kind of cater it down to like, these are the oils I have in my home. What should I be using? And that's genius the way you've done that, because it does take the overwhelm out of the situation.
Oh, and I'm so excited for this year because there's so many more features and benefits coming out in our app. So just stay tuned. Like we have, as a lot of we have dozens of employees, and I have hired a lot of smarter people than myself on, and doctors and pharmacists, and we have in-house pharmacists, and we have iTovi DNA, but yeah, we're constantly working on our app and providing value. So some of those things you mentioned, gosh, if you only knew what we were working on, it's getting exciting, even more and more exciting. So iTovi, just so everyone knows, is not a diagnostic tool, and being compliant is very important to us. In fact, we have a full-time compliance team on board and regulatory team. And our main goal is to provide insights into what your body is telling you. And so we use is it okay if I get into the science real quick?
Oh yeah, do it. Go for it.
Let's do it. So we use mainly another science component that's been around for a long time, galvanic skin response. A lot of people know also biofeedback, right? Bioimpedance. To get on a scale, for example, you have to send something to the scale first. You have to have a response that shows your weight, or my Apple Watch is a good example. If I want to read my EKG or heart rate, etc., I have to have the sensors obviously touch my skin, right? Like the back of the watch. Well, and then I can look at that report, if you will, through an app. Well, iTovi has these little sensors on it that are very similar, and through biofeedback, galvanic skin response, we're able to derive different variants of how your body's responding at that moment. Bio points is what we call them. And then we are able to send subtle electrical frequencies through your body to your body and measure and record how your body is responding at that time. So you can have a normal response or an extreme response, and we display the top products that your body's having the most extreme response to in order. So the very top product that your body has the best response to, second, third, fourth, and fifth, etc. And so at that time, as everyone knows, everything has frequencies in them. Our body also has a healthy frequency in between like 62 and 72 megahertz or something like that, 74 maybe. But what we're able to do is take those oils and supplements and liquefy them if they're not liquid, measure and extract their frequencies. Okay, you can do that through an oscilloscope from a $500 machine up to a $5,000 machine. We do that, and we also created our own, right, with over a long period of time with, again, smart people. But we're able to extract those frequencies, and then during the scan, it takes a couple minutes. You just hold the scanner right here and make sure those little sensors are touching your skin. Mm-hmm. Those that are pregnant or babies or people with pacemakers, totally safe. Mm-hmm. Grab this, and then during the 2 minutes, we send those subtle electrical frequencies to your body, measuring and recording your response, and then we display that through the iTovi app. And it's really neat because because of those reasons. It's what products maybe should I be looking at? And you might find products that you may otherwise not have thought about. You might go into the emotional wheel or the physical wheel and start diving into some of those aspects and being like, whoa, this is exactly what my body's telling me, or gosh, this doesn't look like I need this, but I'm going to start taking it. And then you find out a couple of days later, like, oh yeah, that made a lot of sense. And so we hear those testimonials all the time, and I absolutely love that. But coming back to the science, it's been around 100 plus years. We use that technology primarily, but also coupled with our own proprietary algorithm, right? And that's the kind of the under the hood magic also that we're able to use and display these products in such a manner that is more precision health, kind of way, our DNA, for example, precision medicine is going. It's based off your DNA. You swab, send it in, and based off how your traits are, like your micronutrients, macronutrients, systemic inflammation, age, skinning, stretch marks, just so much. There's 50 plus traits. And we're able to also put your company's products, for example, doTERRA products, next to those traits. And that is amazing. People absolutely love that. And it's not, we're not interested in kind of where you've been, but more so what your body makeup is and where you're going and how you're able to have more precision type medicine delivered to you. And that's in that way, because you could be predisposed to be deficient in like let's say vitamin C or iron or copper. And now you'll know that just because your DNA has told you that, there might be a product that will always help you be more fulfilled in that regard. So anyway, between the DNA, between the iTovi, we have some smart people on board, and we're able to deliver products to you. And we leverage the science that is pretty much already exists out there, but to provide product recommendations.
I love it. I always love learning like what this little thing does when I scan, because it was very abstract to me when I first started, and I was like, oh cool, I'll grab that oil. Oh cool, I'll grab that oil, or I need to take more of that supplement. And what I've found as I've really dove into it is like, okay, let's go back to non-toxic living, because this is something really important that we are all talking about right now. One spray of a store-bought air freshener can release up to 200 chemicals into the air. That's crazy, right?
That is asinine.
I know. And I used to have Glade plugins everywhere. So now this is like 7-10 years ago. So don't judge me. I let go of them a long time ago. But diffusers. We have diffusers everywhere in our homes, us doTERRA peeps. And if you don't get on the bandwagon and get a beautiful diffuser in every room, because it's going to change your life. And when we talk about this emotional wheel in the iTovi, what is so cool is I can feel like I want to scan and I want to check my emotions and see where I am and see what I need support with. And instead of just saying like, I feel anxious, let me figure out what oil to grab, I can say, I feel anxious feelings right now. Let me scan and let me see emotionally what oils are going to help me the most right now. And then I can diffuse them. And I'm not only making my house smell amazing without chemicals, I'm also targeting my body with support it's going to utilize to its greatest capacity at that moment to help me with those emotional concerns. It's like, duh, of course I'm going to lean into that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I love that. And seeing the pragmatic approach on how you're using that, and I can just envision, just in every room you have a diffuser. And yeah, and in fact, a lot of people will scan every day just to see which oils to diffuse and make it kind of fun that way. Mm-hmm. We recommend scanning maybe once a week for you and your family, looking for trends, but also, Dr. Shah, there's a lot of people that use this to build their business. And rather than focusing on just how this will improve maybe your health and wellness, we also did a huge push into how this will help pragmatically your business and what that looks like. And so what we found, we've actually been able to learn too on how people are using this through surveys, testimonials and whatnot, and shared kind of some of those best practices. And I want to just, a couple of things that our customers love about iTovi is that they're able to provide value to not only their downline as somewhat of a lifestyle overview, and kind of a matter of fact, like just offering that as a free service. I'm going to scan my downlines whenever they'd like, if I'm close enough, right? I'm going to provide that value to them, just drive to them if something's going on in their lives and run a, give a free scan. It's that value. And sometimes even along the line, the journey of the people in your downline, sometimes they get to a point where, do I keep taking the same products, or, what do I do? And so having that lifestyle overview or something like that with them as a consultant, this just adds another value add, another benefit to them, and a talking point, right? A touch point, and sitting down with them and showing your own testimonial, your own expertise, but also, hey, let's run a scan. Here's maybe a product that you may otherwise not have thought about. So that's awesome, right? And having those events in your house eventually when COVID's out of here, and offering everyone a free scan, like in a U-shaped type manner. Yeah. And having that value there just is awesome. People love that. But also for prospecting is huge. If you're not keeping people in your pool in a business, then you're going to die. And so being out there, it's a passive way to introduce your products to other people. It's an emotional, significant experience sometimes. And sometimes you'll find that you're not opening your mouth because it's awkward or you're not used to it. And so having the iTovi scanner elicits that. It reminds you to open your mouth. Mm-hmm. And what we've seen is a lot of the customers that have the iTovi scanner I think I have a case here, are creating these groups, kind of like you said. You can create as many groups as you'd like, maybe products I own or street case products. And so what they're doing is they're putting 16 little sample oils in this case. Yeah. And running a scan on just those products, for example. And that way, whichever products come up in this case, I can give them a scan right then and there. Mm-hmm. And so that people love that. But what it does is it just provides you a way to introduce your products to other people. Yeah. By saying, hey, would you like a free scan? And then scanning for just those products. And while you're in line or while you're out there and about, like, it's passive. And even your friends, sometimes it's awkward. You don't like, how do I get them over to my home? And if you just said something like, hey, we're going to have some free food, we're going to have a scanning party, maybe a foot bath, and just come over and check it out. And I've seen that, Dr. Shaw. I've seen a lot of foot baths. I'm here awesome. Yeah. Have you done that before?
I mean, I've done foot baths, but not with an iTovi party. It just sounds awesome. Do like a little spa party. Because I keep my iTovi in this little keychain because I'm just like a minimalist type person. And it's just like the oil keychain with the samples, and it just fits my iTovi perfect. And I like that because when I travel, I take it. So I was just in Mexico and I took it. And then if we need to scan, we have it. And it's just an app on the phone and it's super easy. So I love the convenience of that. And we have an event this week and we have 20 people coming, and we have 2 iTovis there. And we're going to be scanning and letting people then go and grab and experience those oils firsthand right then and there. And it's going to be fun. And I always get great feedback because people like going home with their reports. It's emailed to them. I don't have to worry about any of it. It's just a super convenient thing to like you said, start that conversation. So you mentioned something. Oh, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'm going to say, just to your point, another passive way to extract and compile information or contacts is that way, right? So if you have an event, people coming up, all they have to do is put in their first name, last name, email, and gender, and their phone number, maybe, right? If they choose to do so, then you have their information, right? And you can follow up with them. And that the fortune is in the follow-up, as we all know. And if you're scanning people at your house or an event or out there and about, it's super easy to collect their information just by saying on a free scan. Now you have their phone number, you can follow up with them. In fact, if you're not doing this, do it. If you scan someone, send them a report or an article or a video on one of the products that came up in the report within 24 hours, and then scan them again every 3 weeks or 4 weeks. But that becomes like a duplicatable system. I know that's an overused word, but super easy to follow. Scan someone, send them a product or article or video on one of the products that they scan for to add that extra value within 24 hours, and then have those other touch points before you scan them again, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, but sorry, what were you going to say, Dr. Shaw?
That's beautiful advice. Thank you for that. I was just going to say, you talked about the DNA stuff, because I know you guys do this, and I haven't done the iTovi DNA yet, but I've actually heard really incredible things.
It's amazing. if you can, just yesterday, which is the 26th, I believe. Today's the 28th. No, so 27th.
On April. So
yeah, so April 27th, we just did a video. So whenever you're watching this, but go back and look at that video on April 27th. It's all about DNA, and it's amazing. It's about 28 minutes long, and it will give you all the information you need about DNA. Also, iTovi.com/training gives you some more videos and whatnot. But yeah, DNA is really neat because it's truly based off the unchanging, right? You swab once, you never need to swab again. And it's, our bodies are unchanging. So it's how you're predisposed to the different vitamins and nutrients and different things. And so what we've done is attached your company's products to those traits.
oh,
But
so cool.
but yeah, definitely take a look into that, because not always can you scan people and say you're in San Diego, New York, right? But you can have that person do a swab themselves, send it in 30 days later, receive that report, and now they have your company's products next to those traits. Now you're able to do a Zoom with them, share screen, talk through their report, and have an awesome experience with them about not only how their body's responding to the different all the different traits, but also, so there's fitness, beauty, nutrition, different reports, right? But now you're able to have that conversation about your products and how that may help them. So super awesome.
I think that's a game changer to really know the nutrients we need, our macros and micros, and just really like how we're doing, because then we have the beautiful doTERRA targeted nutrition line with our protein and our fiber and the lifelong vitality and the probiotics, and like which of these do you take, and having something like this can really help us hone that. So it's so powerful. It's really puts our proactive medical care in our hands when we combine something like iTovi with our product line from doTERRA, and you know what you need. And that's what is really cool to me, being my background as a doctor of physical therapy and like the medical degree and like the research degree is like, I get that you're saying these are really good, but like, are they good for me? And this can really help hone in on that. So I love that you've created this. It is such an incredible thing. And to be on this journey for the last 5.5 years with the company and watching you guys evolve and just always strive to do better, to share more, to be better. And it's been fun to watch the evolution of this amazing company.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I would love to, if you have any other questions, pricing and all that stuff, you guys can check out iTovi.com. You can go to shop at, some of this accessory, right? The case. And that's not my goal here, is to get you to go, but the research, iTovi.com/research, and the training are the ones that I would go dive into and check all that out in the DNA and whatnot. And a lot of you already have iTovi scanners. If you're not following us on our social media platform, please do so, of course.
Definitely. There's great value on the social platform. I saw that DNA video pop up yesterday. So lots of good stuff over there. Okay, well, Sai, let's dive into our rapid fire questions. You ready for them?
No, but yes.
Okay, what would you say is your number one health and wellness tip for the listeners?
Ooh, okay. Health and wellness tip: consistency and accountability. So if you're not, momentum is everything, I think. One of my favorite books is 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, and it's the law of the big MO. And so a health and wellness tip is start early. It's like that book, Make Your Bed or whatever. If you start early and do something, something small, I think eating healthy is everything. So, but it's the consistency, and that will kind of go off into your day, or compound throughout your day if you start small.
In all areas too. And I speak about this a lot on the podcast. One of my favorite books is Darren Hardy's Compound Effect. Make Your Bed is like, I bought that book for all my leaders this year. It's so funny.
Oh, awesome.
We were on vacation and somebody had said to my boyfriend, "You make your bed on vacation?" He goes, "Of course I make my bed on vacation. I make my bed every day. How do you expect to change the world if you don't make your bed?" And he was like dead serious. Like that is like his mentality on it, mine too. And it's so funny. So yeah, those little things add up, whether it's in your health, your wealth, your relationships, like sending a text message to your significant other, just letting them know at 2:00 in the afternoon that you're grateful for them is a game changer in your relationship, right? It's not a huge thing, But these matter in all areas of our health and our lives. And the more consistent we are, the better.
Exactly. I 100% agree with that. Good point. And again, start small, because that leads that grabs that momentum, and it just continues, but never stop, or you'll start losing that momentum.
Yeah, you speak my language. I teach to go, and if you're doing something 1 day a week, don't try to go to 7 days a week. Go to 2 to 3 days a week. And
Yes.
we slowly increase, slowly grow. Okay. What is a healthy habit you struggle with? Something that you struggle to be consistent with?
Oh, okay. Chocolate. Late night snacking. There's got to be at least 1 or 2 nights a week where I just can't control myself. It's like, and I'm not saying it's all unhealthy, but sometimes it's just healthy, but it's too late and not super healthy. So that's something I struggle with for sure.
Something funny about me? I hate chocolate.
No way. Gosh, let's change shoes on that.
I know a lot of people are jealous of that. I hate it. I think it's disgusting.
Oh, it's awesome.
Okay, Sai. So next question, what are you most excited about in life right now?
Okay, my kids as they're young. So I have a 3-year-old who's almost 4, a 12-year-old who's almost 13, and you're getting out of that stage where they're just not little anymore. And I'm telling you, it's breaking my heart. I have 4 girls, and I'm like just savoring it. So I'm most excited about just savoring the moments with my kids right now.
And the beauty is what you've created for yourself of going from that Fortune 500 company that, yes, was cushy and all comfortable, but I'm sure very demanding of your time. Now you have a lot more freedom to be there for your girls. That's so amazing.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's all about, creating your own business, right?
Yep.
Okay. My selfish question. What is your all-time favorite book?
Ooh, Psycho-Cybernetics. And there's so many. I could just list a few. 12 Rules of Life.
By Jordan Peterson?
Yes.
Did you get his second book? Because it just came out and it just got delivered yesterday. OMG, I'm so excited.
OMG, I am too. Wow. Okay, you'll have to text me.
I will. I'll send it to you. It just came out. My boyfriend's already listening to it on audio. It is literally on my bookshelf right back there. It's beyond
That's crazy.
order. I'm so excited.
Yes. And then the other one I listened to, like the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, is an old one, like How to Win Friends and Influence, all those ones. I love the self development books, personal development books, but I also like mysteries and some of those. But
I just love to read. I don't even own
Goodreads is a good app.
Oh, okay. I'm a paper. My boyfriend's audio, I'm paper. So I read everything on paper and I love it. But I don't even own a PC. So I go straight to the books.
I love that. Good for you.
Okay, Sai, we had chatted about this before. We had already kind of mentioned some of the resources to find you. Where can people find iTovi? We do have a referral link that you guys can use for natural wellness tips. So it's going to be on my website. It's drjennifershaw.com/iTovi. That's ITOVI. So you can go ahead, check that out, or click the link below. But where else can people find info on iTovi?
Yeah, definitely go there, especially if you're just ready to purchase, and just go. That's probably the easiest link. If you want to go to iTovi.com and just dive into it all, that's one way. Of course, we have YouTube, but our Facebook page and our Instagram page, I definitely follow, because we do webinars almost monthly, and if not bi-monthly, and then also promotions here and there. So stay tuned for all of that. But click on the link if you're interested in purchasing. And also, everyone, we are more than happy to keep you in the loop with all these features and benefits that are coming out later this year. So you have to turn on the notifications and stuff.
Yeah. Yep. It's important. I get them on mine, but I'll keep you guys posted on any of the promotions for sure on my social media, on Instagram at Natural Wellness Tips. And I'll definitely be sharing that all on the podcast. So stay tuned for more. I'm going to post a video on my YouTube of more of a real life example of how I use the scan and what does it look like. I'll actually walk you through a scan on my phone, so you guys will be able to go find that. So some cool stuff coming up. It is I'm realizing it's a tool I use a lot in my business. It's a tool I use a lot in my personal life, and I want to be able to empower you guys with that tool. So more to come on that. So thank you so much, Sai, for joining me.
Absolutely. This has been a pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Shah, and really have enjoyed this time with you.
Yeah, it's absolutely always fun. I'm sure we'll have you back on as some of these new releases come out. I'm excited.
You
I
got
have
it.
no insider info. I don't know what they are yet, guys. So I'm on the edge of my seat like you. So we'll wait till they come out. I'm going to go dive into that DNA. But until next time, listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. Head over to Instagram, connect with me, say hello, and I'll catch you next time. Namaste.